the whole Yankees team is simply not clutch. The whole team is simply not clutch. It's not just the guys at the plate. It's the guys on the mound in the back end of the bullpen. The starting pitchers are cool, but this Yankees team is not clutch at all. Hello and welcome to another Vinny Talks Yanks. I'm your host Vincent LaRose, and today it is now technically April 10th. It is after midnight. Oh man, and the Yankees have lost their first series of the season. It is the first time since 2016 the Athletics have beat the Yankees in a series in the Bronx. And it was just, let's just say these were a tough last two games to watch. But after watching the Yankees get shut out, and after watching the Yankees not score a run in 17 straight innings while during that stretch only having one hit, I thought to myself, why do I feel like we constantly talk about the Yankees having the best offense in baseball, but for some reason they always have these insane stretches of where they cannot hit the ball and they cannot score any runs, and they're always putting themselves in bad spots? So I decided to do a little bit of research. But first, let's talk about the Yankees' offensive numbers, starting with us going back to 2025, where they had the best offense in baseball. They were first in runs scored with 849. They were first in home runs with 274. They were tied for second in on-base percentage at 332, which was only .001 off the leader in the Blue Jays, who had a .333 on-base percentage. They were first in slugging percentage with a .455 slugging. They had the most walks in all of baseball. So we sit and tell ourselves, wow, the Yankees had the best offense in baseball last year. What is my point? Then what is my point? This is my point. The Yankees were winning in 125 games last year. So the 125 games they played, they had to lead at some point in the game. That doesn't mean that they won the game. That just means that at some point in the game, 125 times last year, there was a lead. Their batting average was .261 with a .345 on base percentage, a .457 slugging, and an .802 OPS, which is amazing. They had the third best OPS in baseball last year while they were winning. But then you look into the numbers while they were losing, and the batting average drops to .238. They have a .313 on base percentage, a .422 slugging, and a .735 OPS. So the batting average drops a little over 20 points. The OPS on base percentage drops almost 30 points, a little over 30 points actually. The slugging drops about 30 points, 35 points to be exact, and the OPS drops about 70 points. At the end of the day, it's not bad. They were still ranked the third best OPS in baseball, while the Yankees were technically losing in games. So you go, well, Vinny, when the score was tied, they were once again the best offense in baseball. They had a .245 average, a .329 on base percentage, and a .487 slugging with an .816 OPS, which was the best in baseball. So what is my point? What is my point in all this? This is my point. There were 75 games last year where the Yankees were in a situation where they were either tied or down by one run after the seventh inning. Their numbers were 219 batting average, a .300 on-base percentage, a .369 slug, and a .669 OPS. In the first three scenarios I pointed out, they were considered top three teams in all offensive categories in all of baseball. Now, when it comes down to late innings, close games, the Yankees were considered the 19th best offensive team in baseball. Now we're getting somewhere. The Yankees are simply not a clutch baseball team. Then again, you go, well, but Vinny, we're about 12 games into 2026. You can't judge last year's number and say why this year's team is bad. Yes, I can. First off, the Yankees' entire statement of the offseason, multiple players on the Yankees said they were running it back. This is essentially the same offense with a couple different tweaks. Obviously, Ben Rice is getting more starts at first base. Now, instead of Dominguez getting starts, Grisham is starting. Grichuk is now a bench player, and Dominguez is now in the minors. Okay, the second reason I will get into is the list of stats of the Yankees offense in close game scenarios after the 7th inning this year in 2026. Again, I know it's only 12 games, but I'm just trying to point something out. A constant stat. They're hitting 163 with 315 on base percentage, which actually isn't really bad for a 163 average. And a 256 slugging with a 571 OPS, which is ranked 24th in all of baseball, which is absolutely abysmal. Look, I know we are 12 games into the season. There are stretches that every offense goes through throughout the entirety of this season. I know it's a 162 game season. There's not going to be scenarios where teams don't struggle at all. None of that. But I feel like every year we make the joke about the June Yankees and how the Yankees in the summertime go through this stretch where the offense can't figure it out, whether Judge is hurt, whether just nobody can figure it out besides Aaron Judge, and even Aaron Judge hasn't been great this year. But listen, the Yankees built an offense with 3 left-handed hitting catchers. 2 are catchers as of now. 1 doesn't have a hit in 9 at-bats, and then Austin Wells continues to be absolutely horrible in the batter's box. He's not been good whatsoever. Then you have your third baseman in Ryan McMahon, who has had only 2 hits in 29 at-bats. You're testing him at shortstop because your backup shortstop in Jose Caballero has been horrible to start the season. Then you have a supposed star at second base in Jazz Chisholm Jr. He's been horrible. He only has 8 hits and 43 at-bats. The worst part about it is I can't wait for Volpe to come back at this point, which is absolutely insane to say. But the Yankees also are a team that's like, well, we also want to be good defensively because, as we all know what happened in the 2024 World Series, the Yankees' offense hurt them more than anything. I'm sorry, their defense. Their defense hurt them more than anything. And even with the statements of we want to have a better defensive team, we're going to put guys out there that are better defensively, the Yankees have 7 errors in 12 games, which is 19th in baseball. So they're on the bottom half in errors right now, which would put them in the bottom half of plays actually made. The percentage, I forget what the actual stat is called. Then there's the biggest problem of this New York Yankees team. It's the bullpen. The Yankees have had 7 save opportunities this season, all David Bednar, and they have already blown 2, which again you go, whoa, that's only 2 blown saves. In 7 attempts, that's terrible. That means in 21 save opportunities, 6 failed attempts. So 21 times the Yankees could have possibly closed out a game. They failed 6 times. Obviously, that's just numbers theoretically. But 7 attempts, 2 blown saves. Yankees are 8-4 right now. 4 losses. 2 of those losses have come on blown saves. Then you get into the bullpen numbers. The bullpen only has 46 strikeouts, which is crazy because they're highest among baseball in innings. That's 15th in baseball. I will give it to them. The ERA is pretty good. It's at a 2.7. 2.7 ERA is very respectable, especially for a bullpen who has been worked as much as they have already to start the season. But in the 4 games the Yankees have lost this season, all 4 have been 1-run games. 2 of those, like I said, were blown saves. Duvall, although his last appearance was good, has not looked great on the mound. It really just looks like last year all over again. Once in every fucking 5 attempts, he'll go out there, have a somewhat clean inning, maybe get a walk, an error in there, good, and then he'll have 2 or 3 abysmal outings where he can't locate anything, Every cutter is way outside. He hangs the slider. The sinker just doesn't work. That. David Bednar has struggled so far to start the season. Even with 5 saves, he's made the games close nearly every single time. And on top of that, he already has a 4.26 ERA on the season, which is pretty bad. Again, 7 appearances. All 7 have been save attempts. Well, I'm sorry, that's a lie. 8 appearances. He actually, in yesterday's game, gave up the go-ahead run, where the Yankees would end up losing 3-2. So then, David Bednar has had 8 appearances. He's blown 2 saves, and then he blew a hold yesterday. I don't know if that's considered a hold since it's tied in the 9th inning. But he blew that as well. And then, back to the offensive numbers, not a single guy can fucking get on base. You're losing 3-2. Just get on base. Look, I think this team is better than last year's team. The starting pitching is light years better than what it was last year. And it's as simple as this. It's as simple as this. This team cannot win a World Series. This team would not be the Dodgers in a 7-game series. I do believe they are the best team in the American League, but the American League is really wide open. The Blue Jays and the Red Sox have gotten to a horrific start, so it already looks like we're going to win the division, which is crazy to say through 12 games. Look, I can't say that through 12 games. We saw some of the craziest division comebacks last year with the, I almost called them the Cleveland Indians. Oh my God, the Cleveland Guardians. And just look, I'm not saying the Yankees are going to win the division. It's just looking like at the start of the season, the Yankees are the most dominant team in the AL. Which then you go, well, why are you sitting here? Why are you complaining? And again, the reason I'm complaining is this team cannot win a World Series. They can't. This team is not structured properly to win a World Series. They don't have a proper leadoff hitter. But one's Grisham, but he walks. Okay, he's hitting under 200 in the first 12 games of the season. Yes, he walks, but he's had multiple 0 games. He's been striking out in big moments where last year, I'll give him credit, he was hitting home runs and getting on base when we needed him to. This year to start, every situation where he has an opportunity to help the Yankees either take the lead or start a comeback in the late innings of the game, he's completely folded. And again, there's only been 4 times the Yankees have had technically needed to come back after the 7th inning. I'm pretty sure every other game they've either already been winning or had come back prior to the 7th inning. So there's 4 times there. 4 times the Yankees have lost by 1. I don't get why there's not the scenario of like, all right, well, guys, just take until you get a strike. Take until you get a strike. Take until you get a strike. And another thing that's been bothering me is the ABS shit with the Yankees right now. The Yankees offensively are fucking terrible with the ABS right now. Terrible. I've seen Rice make just 2 absolutely horrific challenges on pitches nearly right down the middle. I've seen the one that's annoying me the most is Judge. The ABS system was essentially created because of Aaron Judge, because so many balls were being called strikes on Aaron Judge, and he's like almost going in there but not. Like, Judge, you have one of the best eyes in all of baseball. Challenge the fucking pitch. I don't even care if Judge gets it wrong anymore. Challenge it. Who cares? If Jose Caballero can get one wrong every single game, Judge, you can get one wrong. You're gonna be fine. Challenge him. You have one of the strangest strike zones in the history of baseball because of how tall you are in your stance. Challenge them. There's times where I can see it's a ball, but for some reason you're just not challenge the pitches. When we should be challenging, we're not. And then when we are challenging, we shouldn't be. Which, of course, you could basically say, well, that's the failing game. Absolutely it is. But they just got to use the challenges better. It bothers me so much. It bothers me so much. And again, I know we talked about the AL being wide open, but don't give me the AL being wide open bullshit. I get it. It is wide open. But we've said that every year for the past 10 years now, I feel like. Okay, and the Yankees haven't won shit. They've gotten to 1 World Series, they won 1 game. Since 2009. They've won one World Series game since 2009. Jesus Christ. But my point is, the Yankees need to change it up. When they get into offensive slumps, like they just did against the Athletics, somebody's got to try to draw. Like, we literally brought in guys that can run fast. Caballero, Bellinger, Jazz. Even Grisham is not fast, but he can. I've seen him drop a bunt before. Drop a bunt. Try to get a drag ball. Try to get something going. Get the pitcher off the groove he's in. I just don't get it. I don't understand what it is. And then it's like, oh, this guy's in a groove. Yeah, you know why he's in a groove? Because he's throwing a fastball down the middle. You're not swinging. Then you're swinging at a ball out of the zone. And then you're making his job incredibly easy by striking out. Either watching... You know how many times I was getting... I mean, like, one of Bellinger's at-bats. I don't remember if it was today or yesterday. But, no, I think it was one of his at-bats today. 3-0 count. Strike one. All right, 3-1. Swings at a ball. Now you're 3-2. Would have been a walk. Swings at a ball. Fouls the ball off. Swings at a ball. Fouls the ball off. Swings at a ball. Pops up into the infield. What the fuck are you doing? And look, there's a reason I'm not in the MLB. But, like, man, I'm like, sometimes I watch and I'm like, Bellinger's a guy I know is not necessarily trying to be a hero. I know he's not just swinging for the fences every single time he comes up to the plate. But it's just, sometimes these at-bats are so hard to watch. I almost feel like it's the sense of this. It's like, I don't want to actually blame this on Aaron Boone because I feel like Aaron Boone gets so much shit. But, like, the Jazz Chisholm Jr. scenario the other day, where it's a routine ground ball to him. Oh, okay, maybe he bobbled it. He fucking lollipops it over to first base. Runner safe at first because he was hustling out of the box. And then it's like, oh yeah, we talked to Jazz about that. He won't do it again. Bench him. Fuck that. He's been terrible on the offensive side. He was a cocky motherfucker before the season. So bench him. Fuck it. Sure, you have some balls. Give these guys some fire. It's fuck, man. This shit, sometimes this shit is so hard to watch because you're sitting there watching these guys make the same mistake. Oh, well, the Yankees really needed to get a third baseman last trade deadline, so they went out and traded for a guy. Now we owe him $32 million over the next 2 years. Even I'm saying, I liked him when we got the trade. Well, his defense is really, really good. Okay, so was Oswaldo Peraza's. So was Oswaldo Peraza's. Was it as good as Ryan McMahon's? No, but he wasn't bad defensively. Well, he can't hit. Shit, neither can Ryan McMahon. What the fuck difference does it make? I guess Ryan McMahon walks every couple at-bats. Cool. Fucking Ryan McMahon can't hit either. Who cares? Oh, Volpe sucks. He's the worst. We got to get him out of here. Last year, hurt his shoulder, blah, blah, blah. And again, I was in that group of people. I'm not going to say nothing. I was in that group of people. Let's give Jose Caballero a chance. All right, I like that. Let's give Jose Caballero a chance. Absolutely awful. And he's been bad in the field, too. Okay. So, again, what's my point? My point is this. The Yankees need to move on from Brian Cashman. That's my fucking point. We make these dumb trades sometimes like, oh, was Jose Caballero a good pickup? Yeah, you gave up, Pereira and some other prospect that would have never played on the Yankees. Pereira got his chance, didn't pan out. Okay, cool. Now you got a base runner. Not a starter, you got a base runner. I'm being 100% honest with you. He couldn't figure it out with the Mariners, couldn't figure it out with the Rays. Not going to be able to figure it out with the Yankees. He's going to be a base runner. Ahmed Rosario. Great addition. I absolutely love it. Amazing teammate. 2 home run game. Nice. Next game, gets a single. Cool. Today wasn't as good. But you throw him in the leadoff spot? What the Why? Throw Bellinger in the leadoff spot. I don't care if it's a lefty. Throw fucking Bellinger in the leadoff spot. You know why? It's absolutely ridiculous to have Ahmed Rosario as a leadoff hitter because he swings at fucking everything. Okay? And I like Rosario. He's a great player. He's a perfect bench piece. He really is. He's not a starter. Okay? And the other day I made a video. Oh, yeah, I want Rosario to start tomorrow because you play the hot hand. I believe you play the hot hand. Okay, but then you go the third day in a row where, after the second game, after the 2 home runs, not as good, hit a single. It was a bloop single, but he hit a single. All right, he still got a hit. Maybe he can keep it going. Comes in today, you lead him off. Why? Why would you lead him off, Aaron Boone? Why? Leadoff hitter, like, come on, man, come on. And then it's like, well, it's only one at bat of the game he's second lead off. Of course, yes, it's only one at bat of the game that he's leading off. It just doesn't make fucking sense to me. Put a guy up there that's going to work the count. Ahmed Rosario does not do that. He swings at everything. Don't get me wrong, he has violent swings, but I'm not going to keep going. I'm going to just keep complaining. And look, at the end of the day, this is a really good baseball team. They're not bad at all. It's just, again, when you're a Yankees fan, you expect greatness. And at the end of the day, greatness is a World Series win. And you look at this team and how it's constructed, and just like A-Rod and Jeter were talking about last year, this team is constructed to be good, but not constructed to win a World Series. Yes, it's a good team at the end of the day. On paper, one of the best teams in baseball. Don't get me wrong. Amazing. Stanton, Judge, you have multiple MVPs all over this team. Okay? You have a Cy Young, a consistent Cy Young candidate in Max Fried. Luis Hill's a Rookie of the Year winner. Cam Schlittler's a young and up-and-coming arm. Warren, who continues to get better. Ryan Weathers, great. Go to the bullpen. You got Bednar, who's proven himself as a closer sometimes. Duvall, who has struggled throughout his career. Tim Hill, who has been consistently great. Hedrick, who is really starting to actually bring attention to himself. He's been really, really good. But then you got like Blackburn, who's a failed starter turned into a long reliever, who just kind of has been put into weird situations. You have Cade Winquist holding up a roster spot. You haven't even put him in a game yet, even games we've been winning by a lot. You have Ryan Yarbrough, who has been a successful long man in his career, but you haven't used him in the long man role yet. You got Fernando Cruz, who has been good, who has walk issues, but Fernando Cruz is one of our lockdown guys, and I really like. But this team is just constructed so weird. They're like good, but they're not at the same time. And when I say not, it's like not that I'm saying they're bad. They're not bad. They're just the group of play. Like what I'm basically trying to say is this group of guys put together on paper is one of the best teams in baseball. But for some reason, when you mesh them, it just doesn't really work out for some reason. And it doesn't even necessarily make sense sometimes. And of course, you can look at teams throughout all of history and go, yeah, that there's a lot of teams that are like that. Of course. But sometimes you just need a little bit of change to really help a team get over the top. And sometimes that move is a move you may never even realize that was the move that really changed that team and brought them over the top. I just think this team should have gotten off of somebody, whether that was McMahon, Chisholm, Wells, somebody that didn't re-sign Grisham. I did want Bellinger back no matter what. As much as I love him, maybe moved on from Stanton and brought somebody more contact oriented to give him Judge more days at DH to prolong his career. I just feel like the Yankees need to pull the trigger on one of those moves and just get off one of these guys that we've had so much hope for. Dominguez, Jones, holding these prospects for what? So Randall Grichuk could play left field and not have a single hit in the entire season? Why? It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. And that's probably exactly why I'm not a general manager. I mean, I am only 21, but that's probably why I'm not a general manager in baseball. I'm not working for the MLB because I probably don't know shit, and I'm probably all just talking. But I just feel like sometimes, as Yankee fans, we watch the game, and the team is good, but you could just clearly tell the biggest issues, and for some reason, the Yankees just always fucking ignore them. They always ignore them. It's aggravating. this team is kind of aggravating to watch. Look, it's fun when they win, don't get me wrong, but even when they win, sometimes I'm like looking at them like, wow, man, that should have been way better than that. Like, there's like yesterday, game should have been blown out in the first inning. Game should have been over. Absolutely. Oh, we can't figure it out. We still scored 2 runs. Don't worry. We figured them out. Nope. Don't get hit for the rest of the game. Nope. Yeah, that's just horrific. Almost get no hit today, by the way. Ben Rice only got that hit because for some reason Nick Kurtz was holding the runner on. Why? This team is aggravating to watch, and I'm gonna watch them every day, obviously. But man, sometimes I'm like, I want to throw my head to a wall watching this team because I just don't get why nobody's spoken to about, hey man, we haven't gotten a hit in 16 innings. Don't go up there and try to hit a home run. Just try to put a fucking ball in play. Try to hit a single back up the middle. Just try to bloop one in the fucking outfield at this point. Something. But I'm not going to keep going. If you guys watch this whole video, I appreciate it. It got way longer than I wanted to. Way more than I wanted to really say at the end of the day. But I wanted to point out some pretty blatantly obvious statistics. I know we have Judges and clutch, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the whole Yankees team kind of isn't clutch, to be completely honest with you. This entire past 2 years, essentially, you can watch them and go, hey, this is a moment where this guy needs to get a hit, and none of them can do it. So the whole Yankees team is simply not clutch. The whole team is simply not clutch. It's not just the guys at the plate. It's the guys on the mound in the back end of the bullpen. The starting pitchers are cool. But this Yankees team is not clutch at all. Period. But if you watch the entire video, I appreciate it. If you listen to the whole video on the podcast side, I appreciate it. I hope every single one of you guys has a wonderful day. And as always, go Yankees.